He was the face of a new America. Young, confident, charismatic. A president who spoke about the future in a way that made people want to believe him. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the youngest elected president of the United States, an icon of the 20th century. But behind this flawless image, another reality existed. It was known inside the White House, within the FBI, and among a very small inner circle. Today, historians and biographers increasingly refer to Kennedy as the most promiscuous president in U.S. history. Not because of rumors, but because of documented testimonies from those closest to him. Dozens of affairs. Relationships that took place inside the White House itself. Connections that threatened not just his reputation, but the national security of the country. Why did a president allow himself such risk? Who chose to look the other way? And could his private life have become his most dangerous vulnerability? Let's break this story down, piece by piece. In public, Kennedy was the model leader. By his side stood the refined Jacqueline Kennedy. Family photographs, children, a perfect image for the nation. But behind closed doors, the White House played by different rules. According to aides and staff, women were a constant presence in Kennedy's life. Sometimes several within a very short period of time. Security knew. Secretaries knew. The staff knew. But the system remained silent. Among his lovers were actresses, socialites, politicians' wives, and women whose names never made it into the history books. One of the most disturbing stories is that of Mimi Alford, a 19-year-old White House intern. Their relationship began when she was young, inexperienced, and entirely dependent on the system around her. Years later, she admitted, no one explained the consequences, no one stopped it, she was simply used. Most striking of all, Kennedy barely hid any of it. He acted as if his status made him untouchable. And perhaps at that moment he was right. Among all the women in John Kennedy's life, there was one whom insiders considered a real threat. Marilyn Monroe, not just an actress, not just the president's lover, but a woman whose name was known across the entire country. Within elite circles, their relationship was no secret. Journalists knew, intelligence agencies knew, the president's inner circle knew. The danger wasn't the affair itself, it was what Monroe knew. According to contemporaries, she had access to private conversations, the president's moods, his doubts, and the inner conflicts of power. There were also rumors that she was involved not only with John Kennedy, but with his brother, Robert Kennedy, as well. Monroe called the White House. She left messages. She told friends she was tired of being a secret and no longer wanted to stay silent. During the Cold War, this sounded like an alarm bell. A woman without security clearance knew too much and was emotionally unstable. The FBI understood this, the CIA understood this, and the White House understood this as well. That is precisely why her story remains surrounded by questions that have never received clear answers. But Monroe was not the only risk. She merely exposed how dangerous the president's private life had become. Another figure made the situation even more alarming, Judith Campbell Exner, a woman who was simultaneously involved with the President of the United States and with mafia boss Sam Giancana. Through her, unofficial messages could pass, requests, arrangements that were never recorded on paper. The FBI knew about this. Its director, J. Edgar Hoover, compiled files on Kennedy's lovers, not for scandal, but as leverage. Historians do not claim outright that Kennedy's private life led to his assassination. But they increasingly ask a different question. Did he make himself vulnerable? Too many people had access to his weaknesses. After Kennedy's death, America received more than a tragedy. It received a convenient story. One shot, one gunman, one official version, and the image of a president forever frozen in youth, beauty, and near perfection. But behind that image remained too much silence. Files sealed for decades, testimonies that surfaced too late, and people who knew far more than they ever said aloud. Kennedy's private life was not just a series of affairs, it was a card of his vulnerabilities. And when a system knows exactly where you are weak, it will always find a way to use it. We cannot say for certain whether this caused the tragedy, but we can ask the question that still haunts history. What if Kennedy didn't die despite his weaknesses, but because of them? Write in the comments where you think the line lies between private life and a threat to a nation. And if you value this kind of deep analysis, and subscribe. Here, history isn't told through legends, but broken down piece by piece.